the honorary curator of the World War II Pacific War Memorial Hall, my sister, Madam Florence Wang, guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm very pleased and honored to attend the ceremony of reopening World War II Pacific War Memorial Hall today. And I think this Memorial Hall is the first of its kind with collections showing resistance against the Japanese aggression during World War II. I think people tend to have short memories, but memorial hall like this will make us have lasting memories. And, you know, President Xi Jinping said history is a mirror. History is the best teacher. And I think the memorial hall like this, yes, the best classroom. Reviewing history, you know, will provide us with guidance for the futures. With that said, I think I cannot agree more with the theme of today's ceremony. Memories of past collaboration lead to future collaboration. As everyone present here knows, in July 1937, Japanese military attacked the Chinese military at the Marco Polo Bridge, waging all around a war of aggression against China in an attempt to turn the entire China into its colony and then occupy Asia and dominate the world. The barbaric acts of aggression of the Japanese invaders, you know, caused untold atrocities and disasters to the Chinese people and inevitably provoked the strong and tenacious resistance from the Chinese people. After 14 years of bloody battles, the Chinese people defeated the Japanese invaders and won the final victory of the resistance of war against the Japanese invasion, contributing greatly to the victory of the world anti-fascist war. I think the Chinese people received a lot of valuable support and assistance from allied countries and peace-loving people of other countries during their resistance against the Japanese invasion. It is worth mentioning that China and the United States were united as allies in fighting against the common enemy. And the Flying Tiger, led by General Channel, traveled all the way to China in defiance of all the difficulties and the dangers, and ventured to open the Hump route. They fought side by side with the Chinese people against the Japanese invaders. So the Chinese people and American people, you know, forged profound friendship during their common fight against the common enemy, and wrote many touching stories for us. So I would say the decisions made by China and the United States for collaboration during the Second World War was absolutely a right one. Now, the world is undergoing profound changes, honestly, in a century. You know, and now the humanity has confronted a lot more expected and unexpected challenges, like slow economic growth, global economic growth, economic globalization running against headwinds, and also non-traditional threats like climate change, COVID-19, pandemic, and terrorism. So in front of those challenges and threats, what we should do, where should we go, is a question for all. And I think, you know, the COVID-19 is still spreading around the globe and still wreaking havoc to humankind, which reminds us cooperation in the spirit of solidarity is the only way that could lead us out of the difficulties and crises. So I think we need to learn from history. We need to seek guidance from the history. And with that said, I think the reopening of this memorial hall is of special significance, as it not only help us to visit that part of history, but also provided us with guidance for the way forward in the future. Reviewing the history, I think we can get two important inspirations. First, we must keep in mind that united we stand, divided we fall. China and the United States, as the top two economies and permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, have a broad range of common interests and common responsibility in maintaining world peace and stability and in promoting common prosperity and development. By working together, China and the United States can make many great things happen in favor of both countries and in favor of the rest of the world. And by working together, our two countries can do more than either of us working with another country. So I would say that cooperation is the theme of the times, which we need to follow. And for that cooperation to happen, of course, we need to have correct reading of each other and correct perception of each other. The goal of China's development is not to challenge the United States or replace the United States' dominant position in the world or any other country, but to, meet the increasing demand of our people for a better life. However strong our economy grows in the future, we will not seek hegemony or expansion or spheres of influence. And we will not impose our will onto others. I would say China is not an enemy of the United States. The real enemy or the common enemy of us are non-traditional threats like pandemic-19 climate change. So we need to, I think, work together to try to find a way of peaceful coexistence and win-win cooperation between two major countries with different social systems. And we need to work together to try to develop the relationship of no conflict, no confrontation, mutual respect, and win-win cooperation. I think 80 years ago, we were united in fighting against the common enemy. Today, 80 years later, both countries have every reason and capability to join hands in meeting the challenges in front of us and find a way for the better future of the humankind. Second, I think we must do right things to stand on the right side of the history. the interconnection and interdependence between China and the United States has reached a level unseen before. And cooperation has been the mainstream and the stabilizer of the relationship between our two countries. Both of our countries have benefited enormously from our cooperation since the establishment of diplomatic relations. So, as I said, only by working together can both of our countries can make greater progress in advancing our respective economic development. But the current administration of the United States considers China as the most serious competitor, over exaggerating the competition and the confrontation in the China-American relations. And some politicians, misuse the legislative procedure to come out with some acts that are aimed to interfere with China's internal affairs on issues related to Hong Kong, Xinjiang, Taiwan, Tibet, and others, and push for zero-sum game competition with China, push for decoupling with China, and also push for confrontation with China. All these acts do not serve the fundamental interests of our two countries, but run counter to the aspiration and expectations of our two peoples. These acts will not solve the US's own problems on domestic and international fronts, but add to the difficulties and the burden the US has confronted. But these acts will not stop the development of China, but slow the pace of US growth. I hope the politicians in the United States realize that politically correct is an enemy of rational thinking and right decisions. Decisions made based on politically correct may not be the right ones and may not be on the right side of the history. And the politically correct has already created enough obstacles to the cooperation between China and the United States. More restrictions on cooperation between China and the United States will mean more restrictions on the development of the United States. So with that said, I hope that both our countries and the people from our two countries will work together to remove all the obstacles to the cooperation between our two countries so that we will stand firm on the right side of history. I believe that historical rightness will prevail over politically correct. And it is also my belief that with the common and concerted efforts of all the people, the vision in our two countries, the China-US relationship will have a bright future. Before concluding, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude to my sister, Madam Florence Fang, and the volunteers of this memorial for their hard work that has made today's event possible. Thank you.